Welcome to Better with Art. I'm Melinda, and I'm here to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and practice creative self-care with weekly small art prompts that can be done in an art journal or on paper if you don't have one. I'm trying something completely new with a plastic knife. You do not need a gel plate. You do need something to put some paint on that you will be able to get paint on a sponge with. You can use any type of sponge. I am looking forward to using one of my natural sponges I got on sale at some point. But you can also use a simple kitchen sponge, but these do need to be moistened with water. They need to be damp, so run it under some water, wring it out, squeeze it out. And I also have a dollar store scrubby, which has shown up in a, let's see, would it have been 100 collage papers? No, it must have been a Studio Wednesday video, perhaps before they were called Studio Wednesday videos. I have some black paint because we are going to be making birch or aspen trees, and some yellow and orange, which will create some fall leaves. Yes, despite how I feel about the change of season, I will embrace the beauty of it at least a little. It's kind of funny that last year, okay, using the cap for this isn't ideal. It is kind of funny that last year some of my favorite art projects were the fall ones, and I'll probably be revisiting those, but this one is totally new. The reason I am using the gel plate as my palette is, well, I couldn't find something convenient nearby that would be a good size for what I needed. And when I'm doing gel print stuff, it is fun to use a gel plate as the palette because you can get a fun print with the leftovers. So I'll do 2 pages to demonstrate different sponges, and who knows, the first attempts might not go so well. And I have things set up so my microphone is right smack dab in my way to work on this page. So birch trees, aspen trees. Okay, I don't have enough on the right side of my butter knife. Well, my technique could definitely use some work. That's okay. And I did get my paint on a little too evenly. So let's try to rectify that this time. Oops. Okay, as I always say, art journal art isn't about being perfect. It's about enjoying the process. So we can also make smaller branches without the variegation. What would you call that? They're kind of stripes. But yes, this definitely isn't a very natural looking birch tree, but that's okay. I am learning a new technique and I'm getting to share it with you. And not only do I get to share it with you, I get to use it as an opportunity to encourage you to try your own experiment. I feel like my plastic knife, okay, they're not tines. What would they be called? I don't think they are ideal for this particular knife, but that's okay. I'm tempted to go grab a different plastic knife because I do have some. I just figured this one would work a little better. Oh, well, maybe I'm getting more of the hang of it now. Move faster, Melinda. Add some more branches. So I did get the idea for this from an Instagram reel, so I will track it down and share it with you. I do enjoy Instagram. Whoops. Well, that wasn't quite. Oops. That's okay. Add some more branches to be peeking through our leaves. So yeah, I can't say that the butter knife is a tool that I have really gotten the hang of straight out of the gate. Again, I say that's okay. I get to play. Yeah, these, my serrations are not ideal for this. But again, I don't think I've really gotten the hang of how I should. Well, that wasn't quite what I was intending there. But again, that's okay. And yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a birch or aspen curve like that, but again, it is my art journal. And one of the benefits of using an art journal for art is the freedom to express ourselves and experiment without concern for what others will think. Oh my. I have a little bit of double vision going on there. I share mine to encourage you to take the time for creative self-care. And ideally, let go of your concept of good and comparison. So that was supposed to be a branch, but it looked like another tree, so here we go. I'm going to put another one coming up between these two because I can. And I started to say I feel like I'm getting the hang of this, and then I completely girdled my tree. It's okay. But I think I will sneak over on another page. I do have 3 sponges anyway. I'll just keep this one up so the ones I have don't run into each other, and go for a single. Yeah, I'm sure there will be many of you who will get the hang of this quicker than I did, and that's okay. And that's cool for you. Oops. Oh my. Perhaps that is my cue to... Well, that was something I didn't think through now, did I? let's just put a piece of tissue in here. And there's still a bit of wetness here, but I can avoid that area. I'm going to try my fun natural sponge first, and I have black too far down, so I do like that texture though. I don't want to totally lose it, but let's spread this out a little bit. Never had lines like that on my translucent paper for translucent layer collage. And as it was pretty thick, it's still quite a bit on there. Just get this lower part for the orange and yellow. Oh my, I seem to be a wee bit clumsy at the moment. All right, so orange and yellow. And a big chunk of natural sponge. Natural sponge. So, want to go a little light. Otherwise, it'll just be big blobs instead of the impression of leaves. And I did pick up some black. Wasn't totally dry. And to avoid more black, I'll use a different spot. I do take a little bit of the, try not to get, well, as I mentioned, we don't want to be globby and blobby. And that's what happens if you accidentally slide the sponge as opposed to just blotting it. And if you push down too hard. It's all good though. As I said, it's my art journal. Which is anything but perfect. That's okay. I'm learning, I'm having fun, and I am relaxing in the process. I think I will. Whoops, that has black. I grabbed a shop towel that had black paint on it already. But let's, in interest of time, blot up some of the thicker black paint. Oh, Melinda. Instead of switching to a different spot, I kind of did what I was supposed to be doing with the leaves, but oh well. Perhaps I should articulate more what I was doing with the knife is working from the sides to create the texture of the bark of an aspen or birch tree, which I love. Using the edge to both create that texture with the serrations, and you can make smooth branches with the tip. So some more imperfect art to just enjoy the process. You might just want to play with, oh my, that was supposed to be the other sponge. Good grief. See, I get focused on the art making, not just the, like, I have no idea what I was trying to say. I get distracted by both getting into the art making, distracting me from what I'm supposed to say, and if I was supposed to say, I don't know that there is. Rein it in, Melinda. All right, so I guess what I will do at this point is just demonstrate a different way to use the piece of kitchen sponge to avoid ending up with just a block, because there is nowhere in nature that leaves are shaped like that. So you can give it a little squeeze and make sure you don't put it down flat straight. Make sure you vary the amount of paint on the sponge, and yeah, be gentle. You're not stamping so much as dabbing. Can focus on different areas of the sponge. And if you want to try a scrubby sponge, this one is falling apart. As mentioned in the previous video about it, when I went to the dollar store near where I was staying, they had scrubbies like this with a handle, which would have been really cool. But the ones with the handle were $2.50 a piece, whereas these, where I could get a whole packet of 6, were only $1. So, yeah. I'm all about using inexpensive alternatives in my Better with Art videos, because reclaiming your creativity doesn't need to cost a lot of money. And there are certain things it just isn't necessary to spend a lot of money on. And as I've said about it not costing a lot of money to reclaim your creativity and get started establishing a regular practice of art making, don't buy all the shiny stuff. Don't buy everything that catches your attention. Especially if your budget is tight, get to know what you enjoy first. And then you can even consider it an investment in your mental health. But there's no need to go crazy buying a bunch of art supplies you end up not using. That's, well, irresponsible and unnecessary. And we all have different types of materials and tools we enjoy, and others we don't. I'm all for experimenting, but I'm also, it's very important to me to try to be responsible with my spending habits. All right, so I am finding that working in one direction is preferable. Even if it's a little bare in a spot, don't try to go back to improve it, because it typically doesn't. I say as I go back. But that was a spot I totally missed, so there's that. All right. Again, I thank you. Well, it's the first time in this video, but as always, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and practice creative self-care. I hope you are feeling inspired to make your own small art, whether it's experimenting with these interesting fall trees, which I think I'm getting a better hang of now, or doing something else you're thinking about doing. If you're feeling inspired or want to make me feel better about my interesting trees, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, preferably kindly. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. I post a weekly creative self-care video on Sunday, Better with Art. And not every Wednesday, but at least every couple of weeks or so. There, I'm trying to avoid the really wet black spots. I also post another video from my studio with outside my art journal art. I love making art, and it is a big part of my mental health maintenance. Taking time to make art is not a waste of time. And I am grateful for the opportunity to remind you of that today. Okay, that's looking a little too spongy and not enough leafy, but that's okay. If you would like to join the Better with Art creative self-care art making community in our private Facebook group, there will be a link in the description. That also signs you up to receive emails from me, which will be no more than weekly. I'm trying to get back into the routine of getting out a weekly email. But when things have to give in my schedule, that is one that gives, because it's also really difficult to just always have something worth sending. Here, let's try to create some clumps of leaves. Make this look a little more natural than it does. So as you have watched what I made, I hope it has suggested ways to do and also not to do this project. As mentioned, I will have more autumny projects coming up, because although it is my not least favorite season, winter is my least favorite season, but as it is the lead up to winter, we're not on the best of terms, me and autumn. But somehow it has some really great art projects, particularly with color mixing. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, which I do a lot, but that's okay. Regardless of all the other things, this week, take time to practice creative self-care and make some art, because we are better with art.